So this one can be really short. Mel, you are in the way. You are acting up, looking like Jan, you know what I'm saying? Giving Jan from Drag Race on a beach episode once again. You know what I'm saying? I have to really point that out because that's just really what it gave me. I don't know if y'all watched that, but yes. Mel, Jan, same vibe when she came in. Now, Mel seemed like she liked to, like, first of all, like the last couple times we saw y'all together, it was cool. They were jabbing y'all, they were joking y'all and all that. And you played right on along, like when you said at Black, when they were joking and saying how you they were joking Martel, and you was like, Martel, don't let them be a joke at your don't let them make a joke at your expense all day, or something to that, something like that. And Mel was like, oh no, was it Marcel? The guys were like, ooh, look, take up for your man, or whatever. She's just like, mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all play this game all the time. So why are you so, what happened between then and now that you are acting like this? You came in, you know, trying to get them to say you was going to share a room with Martel, and you came in just looking for a problem, it seemed like. You know, get her the room, do whatever you got to do to calm her down and shut her up, because boy, she just ready to go. At the beginning of the episode, they are still arguing in the pool or hot tub or whatever that was, and they're arguing about the situation with Jalen and Kimmy in a text message. Apparently also Marcel saw it, you know, they're married, so it's probably like a group text message or a business text message. Excuse me. And eventually Tisha just admits, you know, first, well, let's just say this, because a lot of people were complaining that Maurice was not taking up for Kimmy. And it's funny because, I mean, a lot of people online were complaining about that. And it's funny because it's just as if Maurice saw that and then they decided to film this episode. But we know that's not how it happened. Because Maurice went to freak in. He was like, she was doing, you know, she always, because remember, you know, Marcel, the last thing that happened last episode, well, before Kimmy left, or Kimmy was going to leave the pool. I guess she didn't, because, you know, it continued this way. But the last thing that happened was Marcel was like, it seems like I'm the only person that sees wrong on all sides. And Kimmy was like, no, you don't know. I check Jalen. You know, I see issues with Jalen. He was like, you don't see any issues with him. And then Kimmy was like, asked her husband, because, you know, obviously, you know, a husband is privy to these conversations. And then Maurice was like, no, she checks Jalen all the time. You know what I'm saying? She checks him and tries to get him to be a better manager for you all's business. Hello, he's helping you. You know what I'm saying? So that whole vibe, you know, went on. And eventually Tisha calmed down, and Tisha was like, listen, I want to apologize for coming at you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for bringing up all this stuff. I'm gonna stop doing that because I don't want to hurt you, and all that stuff is in the past, and I want us to be cool. And Kimmy was like, goodness, thank goodness, because it rips my soul to have this conversation and these issues with you just all the time. And they hug. It was a very genuine hug. It was a beautiful moment. Beautiful. Marcel joins in on a hug. He thanks Tisha for saying what she had to say. And Marcel, you could have saved that. You could have hugged her without thanking you. Like, you know, thank you for doing that. Shut up, Marcel. Shut up sometimes. Let this vibe happen, you know. Yeah, so that was really it. So then they go back inside, and they're all eating, and they're talking about what they're going to do for the day. Tisha has a surprise for them, for all the couples and so on. And then Mel shows up, giving Jan Sport from Drag Race. And she's just like, hey, everybody, I love all this space. Oh, it's so nice. I cannot stand. Whew. And so she, you know, she hugs everybody. She even, you know, side hugs Martel. And, you know, and she's like, well, where's my room? Like, again, you know, why not just come in and say, where's my room? I hope I'm not rooming. I hope y'all ain't set me up with Martel. I hope I'm not rooming with Martel. Like, where's my room? I hope y'all don't have me rooming with anybody. All this stuff you tried to cook up. You know what I'm saying? Why? So Marcel, they're trying to joke her, you know, and saying that she's going to be in a room with Martel, and then, you know, Martel is saying no, there's a room, you know, so just going on back there. So she goes to head back there. Like, she's just, from the jump, she just acting stank, and it's just awful. Then there's this whole scene with Tiffany and the guy from Ghostbusters. I said to myself that I was gonna find out his name, not his actual name, but find out the name of the person who played in Ghostbusters. that character's name, but I never did. So, but you guys don't know. Well, Tiffany's husband, right? They are having some kind of conversation that I paid no attention to. You're never going to get me to entertain them on these unless I'm speaking of how they affected the group, because I don't like Tiffany. But they seem to be having a good time. So then we have, Destiny, not Destiny, but Mel, of course, asks, so where's Destiny? And she's saying that she needs her wing woman, blah, 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 blah. It's just so funny that she says that because someone online said that Destiny doesn't realize it, but Destiny is a can-do, a go-do girl for Mel. And I mean, some people, listen, it happens. Women like Mel always have somebody to run around for them, male or female. This is my best friend, this is my brother, this is my sister, but they really just treat them like trash. But they have them around just to as Mel said, that her wing woman, Destiny, acts as a buffer. Now, being a buffer is just sometimes what friends do. But if I'm going to be a buffer for you, if I'm going to be emotional support, if I'm going to do all this stuff for you, I need you to not laugh in my face when I'm telling you about my concerns. I need you to not consider my passion about how you make me feel aggressive if I'm going to be your buffer and your emotional support in situations. So so that's what she said about Destiny before they all ended up going. They got on these buses or whatever. The guys had the conversation where Marcel ends up talking about how marriage is hard, and divorce seems to be hard and all this, and Maurice is like, you just haven't gotten to the point yet where you where's the divorce is the best option. And he's just like, well, yeah, we've had plenty of conversations, or we have plenty of divorceable moments, but the thing is, we just chose not to do it. He said that his aunt gave him the best advice, which I can't remember what it was. What did he say she said? Oh my God. I don't know what he said she said. But basically, the key to him is just you have to work through these things. I'm sure she said something to that effect, and he considered that the best advice. And this is just funny coming from a man like Marcel. Maybe he does different things. Maybe he's better than how he comes across when it comes to communication off camera. Maybe he's better at minding and taking care of Tisha's heart off camera. That's possible. I'll say that, and I hope that. But the vibe he gives sometimes is a vibe like somebody, I don't know. I don't know if he's a cheater. They say he's a cheater or whatever, but you know how you can be with a person and they just give you all these freaking tests. You know what I'm saying? They just do all this crap to you that anybody that wasn't in love with you would kick you to the curb for. They take advantage of the idea, the thought that you are too in love with them to let them go. And they consider the more you take, they consider that love from you. They consider you loving them the more crap you take off of them. Some of the things that he said, some of the ways that he acts kind of gives that vibe that he might be that type to keep doing crap. And Tisha, according to Tisha, certain things are a deal breaker for her, and also, I think we know with Tisha that even if something was going on, she would not speak about it on camera as easily. Well, I mean, she's spoken about a few things, but like anything that's divorceable, I don't think that she would bring that to the camera, But Marcel is talking about that on the ride to the surprise. The ladies, who knows what they were talking about? Who knows? So they get to ride these car things or whatever, and Marcel's pretty happy to ride them because he's been wanting to, and he's happy that he gets to ride them with his boo-boo, 15 years. Oh, mind you, so on the Maurice says, he can't wait to get to where Tisha is taking them because it's supposed to be a celebration of marriage. We're not supposed to be talking about divorce and all this stuff. So Maurice is trying to figure out why Marcel keeps talking about this too. Like, what's going on? Somebody on the internet was like, is this a a foreshadowing is something coming, regarding this. Like, what's up with Tisha and Marcel? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so back at the little car situation. So they're all driving, they're all going to drive these cars. They're trying to get their partners together and stuff. Destiny shows up. She's looking cute with, like, her braids up and to the side. She always looks cute to me. Mel's happy to see her wing woman. And so they're talking about partners and who's going to ride with who. And Marcel's just like, you're going to ride, why don't we have a divorce car? And it could be me, Mel, and Destiny in a car, but Mel can't drive. And then Mel's like, why are you saying I can't drive? And Destiny kind of concurs, you listen, you can't drive, sis. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? So, but ultimately, of course, Mel and Destiny drive together. I don't remember who rode with Martel. It's not really important. So all that happens. Destiny's there, like I said. Marcel's his confessionals have been pretty pleasant. Not too much to complain about or to judge him on. I'm trying to think. It wasn't too much going on, especially since I kept because it was way too much Tiffany and and guy from Ghostbusters for me to pay too close attention to this episode. Way too much of them. So the next thing I think that stuck out, like, isn't it funny how they put all the like big moments in the episode on the previews? Because that's kind of what happened totally with this episode. The next thing that stuck out was yeah, I'm still trying to think. I'm sorry. I was still trying to think, but we're just going to go to the next thing that I remember, because I feel like the things that I remember are probably the most stick out things. Who wants to hear all the extra stuff? And this video is going to be shorter, so that's good. So the next thing I remember is Tisha telling them that the next event they have, she wants to have it be all girls, and then the guys go do what they do and the women do what they do. And she's just saying, as a host, she doesn't want anybody to get bored. She wants to keep shaking it up and stuff. And did anything come from that? Nope, not too much. They're taking pictures, and oh yeah, this probably happened before that, but it's fine. Out of sequence. They're taking pictures, and Mel is saying little slick stuff to Martel, like, you go worry about who you gonna take a picture with and all this stuff or whatever. Anyway, Tisha pulls Maurice to the side and says, Tisha pulls Maurice to the side and says, look, I know we're going to be doing some stuff, and Marcel is all in his bag about, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But I know there's going to be a lot of women running around here and looking at him, so I want you to keep an eye on him. Now, let me just say, well, Maurice is, Maurice, he's going to, give you a very father response. And he says he lets her know they're a great couple, and everything was gonna be okay, and she just needs to think about the fact that something is not. He's glad that she's trying to make things work, but she needs to consider the fact that surprise therapy ain't it, sis? Ain't it? You know what I'm saying? And she's just like, well, it kind of worked because we got date night out of it, and he's just like, yeah, but that just wasn't cool or whatever. And he's just like, y'all do things a little differently than other people, and I wonder what that means. Is he talking about how their business and all that stuff? Is he talking about some stuff that's juicy? Who knows? He was like, y'all do things a little differently than others, but it works for y'all, and y'all should just keep doing what works for you, which is good advice for all of us. And then he says on the in his confessional, basically, he wants to make sure that he's glad that Tisha's trying to, make everything cool and everything, and he wants to listen to what she has to say, and he wants to be kind of a voice of reason for her, because, of course, he wants to make, that's his brother, he wants them to make it. And he knows they love each other. So, good old Maurice. So, all right. So let's just get to the big, like, for some reason, okay, so Mel pulls Martel to the side and it's like, speaking of friends, well, I have my video. And then Martel is like, yeah, they did BS video, blah, blah. I had my video, and at my video, wait, let's just say Martel obviously has a issue with the video and the song because it's clearly about him. She keeps saying it's not, but anyone who gave you 5 years to cut her off, anyone with ears that Mel hasn't busted the eardrum of with her high-pitched voice, any one of us could know, could tell you that that's a lie, that these songs are clearly about Martel. So, she's just like, well, I brought, speaking of friends, I brought, oh, no. This is how she got him over there. She's like, well, where are the kids? What's going on with the kids? Oh, no, I'm sorry, y'all. I have to say that Mel took Tisha earlier. Mel had took Tisha to the side and was just like, I wish you had told me that. No, they were just having a conversation. And she was like, and Tisha was just like, I hope you're having a good time here. How do you feel about Martel being here and everything? Or, she just kind of mentions it. And what's her name? Mel. My memory is jacked. Mel is just like, well, I didn't know he was going to be here. And, but, it is what it is type shit, whatever. Like, and Tisha was just like, there's no way she couldn't have known he was here. And I'm thinking that to my daggone self, because I wasn't part of the group text message that Tisha said that they were all on, and that Mel saw Martel being a part of. I wasn't part of that, but I do remember last episode when Mel was talking about Martel being there as if it was a very real possibility. Anyway, so let's go back to, Tisha hopes that they get back together. She thinks that they will. And she says she might be being delusional, but Tisha, I think we all might be, we all are on the same delusional boat if that's the case. But so we're back to Mel pulling Martel to the side and asking, so where are the kids at? Man, why you ain't know where the kids was at? And he's just like, he's with, they're with their grandmother or whatever. And she's just like, okay, well, or he says with a friend or something like that. I don't know. But it's just odd that Mel didn't know where her kids were. Maybe it's not odd. I don't know. I don't co-parent with anybody. I don't know. I just found it's odd to me. I'm not judging anybody who sends their kids off and and does whatever they do. I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying, like, I just would have thought that she would have known. So, they're with their parents or whatever, so they should be cool. I don't know. But yeah, so, then she's like, well, speaking of friends, she makes some sort of segue into the fact that at her video, she talks to that friend and she apologizes to that friend that Marcel insulted by making a comment that she only had one kid. She has no clue how to handle 4 kids, blah, blah, blah. So she just brings that up for some reason. And Martel says whatever he says, and that becomes a big thing. And they're just like going back and forth. And then Martel is talking about like, you wrote that song even before we divorced. Like, what are you talking about? She was like, no. Her voice was so high pitched. I have no clue what she was saying. I just know that it was incorrect, false, egregious, and just horrible. And so Maurice is pulling Martel to the side, just saying, this is the moment right here. Mel was getting on everybody's nerves, apparently. She definitely got on Maurice's nerves. Because Maurice was like, listen, this is the moment we're talking about. She's you doing all this you're doing, and, and she's doing all that she's doing, and you're going to have to, like, so you just suck it up and just, don't let her bug you, and, just all this stuff or whatever. And Marcel says, you're never going to win a fight with a woman, blah, blah, blah. But, Mel continues to in the background. It's just like, girl, awful. You came here just to do that. You wanted to put on a show. Like, you guys were getting along fine. And I know there must be some ebb and flow and co-parenting, and obviously some things that I did not see. Maybe just maybe she just had, no, I don't want. She doesn't have. It's no excuse for everything. And Martel says this, like, everything was cool before you got here acting like this, and it was. He was having a good time. Everyone was having a good. Well, that's not true. He and I both lied about that because, just the night before, Tisha and Kimmy and Marcel was getting into it, and Kimmy was going to knock Martel into the water, which she probably should have for coming up with that side chick mess. But yeah, this episode, it was too heavy on the Tiffany and Ghostbusters dude. Next week, who knows what's going to happen. I honestly, I didn't even stick around for the previews for next week. Maybe by the time I edit this, I'll go back and look and then just add it in. But anyway, that's just how that go.